Tonight's destination, Uri. It is the morning programme. I'm Rowan Hand. This is the man himself, Feargal McCormack. Are you well?
Yes, good to see you, Rowan.
It's always good to see you. You're so welcome in here from PKF, FPM. You're now solidly back to us from across the pond. You've had a week under your belt since you got back here. What message did you bring back to the workforce, to the worker bees down in the mill from Canada?
Well, good international best practice and the exciting news that the PKF network was on the move, and we're part of that move.
So. Very much so. It's an exciting tie-in there, and it's all going well.
Yeah, and I was delighted. It's amazing. After a week, our new Belfast office is coming on fantastic. You know, further week on, you can see the workmen are making big progress.
You're a great man. This is an amazing. It's an amazing development. You just grow and grow and grow. But that's the secret of that, is getting the right team around you.
Well, I'm not sure about grow and grow, but if you have the right team, there's a chance you can continue to develop a sustainable business. But as I've said to you often, no complacency. Always retaining a sense of urgency.
Absolutely. And long may it continue.
And perhaps even nervousness.
That's all good, I tell you. It's like stage fright. If you're not nervous before going out, you would know about it. Yeah. So, coming to the boil, David, Peter, Kieran, Crilly showing off some of the sweets which are produced at their Krillco confectionery premises in Uri. They're doing very well.
Yes, good to see the Crilly family. I think they're celebrating their 40th anniversary this year.
My goodness.
And,
are we all right, Sean?
They've been doing exceptionally well in developing and manufacturing sweets. A lot of times pick up their name because they do a lot of own branded stuff.
Yes.
But it's a great success story up there on the Flagstaff Road.
Is that where they are? I remember, it's just like a little corner place there. It was small.
Well, now it's now.
I'm looking back 30 years.
Yeah, well, you're hiding your age. I thought you were looking back maybe 50 years, Rowan. But having said that, Rowan, I mean, it's a great achievement. It's great to see these people. I think they have record sales this year, which is fantastic. And another Greater Newry business I see in the news this morning, the Milestone. Tom McAvoy and his wife Anne have opened up that fabulous, what could only be described as state-of-the-art shop in Rafael, the Milestone.
Wow.
I have to say, when I visited first about 3 or 4 months ago one Saturday morning, I got the shock of my life. I hadn't seen an experience like it in terms of retail.
Yes.
In Ireland.
It's amazing.
It's a phenomenal achievement, and Tom and Anne deserve tremendous credit, a very significant investment. And really, I suppose it goes on to highlight the retail excellence we have in this area. I mean, there are a number, obviously we have the multiples, but a number of independent retailers, particularly in the forecourt market, has done exceptionally well in recent weeks. You have Hughes in Camlock, and you have Mulcairns, have both won awards. And I can tell you, the Milestone, if you haven't been in it,
to go and look at it. What are they selling? What sort of stuff?
Everything, but the experience, when you'll even see the smoke coming out of the fruit.
My goodness.
I will tell you, Rowan, if you haven't been to it,
go to the Milestone.
Go and have a look at that shop at present.
Absolutely.
If you can find a better retail experience in Ireland, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, and of course too, talking about prizes being won and awards being given, our good food shop on Hill Street, Super Value, did very well a few weeks back, and we didn't manage to get them in yet. But they're all doing, you know, the independent sector is doing well.
Oh, and just moving away, I see MJM won the Deal of the Year award at the Business Eye Award. So for their acquisition of the MyVan business.
Yes, yes. But I mean, isn't it an incredible circumstance to have the world's shipping lines being bunkered in Uri, so to speak? Brendan Gallagher used to bunker the boats that came into the basin, fill them up with their food 70 years ago, 60 years ago. But now we have a Uri company kitting them out, designing and building and putting in the lounges and the cabins and all the rest of it across the planet.
That originated in North Ireland, Rowan. And the big point is it's the can-do attitude, passion.
The other can-do attitude was the fellow who went to America, and his son is now running the New York Horse Carriage Association, and the mayor, de Blasio, trying to close him down, but he's having none of it.
Yes, good to see that.
Our man is continuing. Yes, Stevie Malone from the Flagstaff Road.
Yes, and you remember all the old carriages used to be up there, and now and again for funerals, you'd have seen the funeral carriage taking the corpses to funerals.
Yes, goodness gracious. It's amazing. You bring back so many memories to me. Some progress been made in the Republic. A scheme to help distressed mortgage holders dealings with the AIB group has resulted in more than 1,300 long-term resolutions being reached. People are talking and people are listening.
Well, I think the Irish Mortgage Association is represented over 1,300 people in reaching agreements on mortgages with AIB. I mean, I've been saying this to you for well over a year and a half. I think if you go back, I said to you, I've obviously been involved in a number of these discussions myself, but there are informal arrangements and indeed formal arrangements being entered into with debt providers. The key lesson we all have to learn before we get into that is there needs to be a win-win on both sides. Common sense, but a win-win on both sides.
And there is a kind of a thing happens. Debt is sold on. It goes from one company to another company to another company.
Well, this is becoming the big thing now. If you think
What is
about
that?
Well, what happens is that if you take, for example, the Ulster Bank case where they sold their debts on or signed their debts on, the amount of manpower they were putting into dealing with a small amount of maybe, well, we may not call it small, but in terms of banking terms, say debts under, say 5 million, the amount of actual man hours they were spending having meetings and meetings and meetings. And I believe part of this was their own fault, by the way. But the reality is when somebody from the outside looked in and said, look, why are we holding on to maybe 1,000 staff, and why are we basically spending so many times all these meetings? There's no outcome here. There's no profitability long term. Let's just sell these debts all in a basket. Now, that's what's happening. Ulster Bank have done it, and I suppose if I was forecasting, I have a suspicion that one or two other of our banks, or still one of our banks, I think may well do that as well on this island.
But I'm wondering if you have a basket, if I have a basket of bad debt, and that's what it is, it's debt that isn't being serviced, why would you want to buy my bad debt? It's not a good investment for you.
But it is a good investment because you buy it at quite a discounted rate. And then basically what you do then is you then enter negotiations with the borrower, right? Having said that, I do believe in most cases the borrower is probably better doing the deal with the original bank. However, we're now getting to a stage towards the end game, and debt reduction is important, and equally people need to demonstrate an ability to trade out or to go forward, and settlements can be done and are being done.
So that's optimistic.
The write-offs have been are taking place, but one has to realise, be very careful, that when these loans are sold on to another organisation, all the loans, all the requirements re the loans are also sold on. Do you get me? Now what then happens is that other organisation maybe wants to get out of the loans a lot quicker. They don't plan to hold those loans for 5 and 10 years. So they want to come to some type of arrangements. They want people perhaps to re-bank their existing loans, obviously with significant write-offs. But the point is, you won't get a significant write-off unless you can equally demonstrate repayability on the new loan. So there is give and take.
Because I was going to say that it's difficult to get feathers off a frog.
Well, again, there are a number of arrangements to facilitate that. I know our own firm, we have done record IVA arrangements, individual voluntary arrangements, and CVA, credit voluntary this year. I think we're up about 38%. So
really?
people are beginning to realise that there are mechanisms available to them. They're more formal mechanisms, which can allow. I think the key here is to eliminate the uncertainty. We are where we are. Draw the line. We've then got to realise we can't run away from our responsibilities, but you can't pull water out of a stone. So within the context of a realisation on both sides and honesty. No bluffing, no untruths, no half funnies, no funny deals a couple of weeks beforehand. I think that there is a willingness for deals to be done.
And that's a healthy move forward.
Yeah, very good quality third-party person and act as an arbitrator.
Now let's look at the big event that's coming. We had the autism mums in yesterday. You're going to help them.
Very good.
And they're great. And I've said to them, it would be the children are very talented, the young people of autism. So we're going to give them a little program every month. They'll come in here, and the autistic youngsters, accompanied by their parents, will present a program here on a once-a-month basis. And you're looking after some of their financial interests out of the Newry Christmas business charity.
Yeah, it's a lovely story. And to be fair, congratulations to those self-help mums who've got together and are making a difference for their children and trying to enhance facilities and services. Yes, we're delighted. Mums for Autism is one of our chosen charities this year, and we'll be particularly active in the Santa Run.
Yes.
And we look forward to linking that in, obviously, with our Newry Business Christmas Dinner. The two are linked together. And it reminds me that we're very keen. There's still tickets available, but we'd like people to get off their ass, as the man says, lift the phone. Don't wait for somebody to invite you. Take your own table.
Go and get your table.
Bring your friends and say, look, there's no better event, and there isn't a better event, actually.
No, it's a huge event.
Let's go and enjoy this event, but more importantly, in the course of enjoying it and giving we receive, let's also contribute to very worthy causes. And remember, local children's causes in this area this Christmas.
Absolutely.
The big news being that by the end of that event on the 4th of December, we will have contributed more than £1 million to local children's charities in the Greater Newry area in the last 15 years.
Well done. And people can contact either Jack Murphy over on Hill Street, Declan on Hill Street, you down at the mill, Gerard O'Hare. It's all there for the folk, and
it's very easy. You can't say you're not aware of it. You can't say you haven't been told about it. Thankfully, to the likes of Destination Newry, there's good awareness, and really, what it now is a wee bit of self-initiative. Get off your backside and make sure you don't miss it.
Well, important, and it just goes from strength to strength. I wonder if you don't mind if I could remind people of my winter warmth pledge to the St. Vincent de Paul Society. If you're of a certain age and you're given a government grant of £200 for oil for Christmas, and if you don't really need it, why not join me in giving that to the St. Vincent de Paul Society, and they will pass it on to the very needy single-parent families, old-age pensioners, widows and widowers who live alone and who have to make a choice every Christmas time between heating and eating. So that's the winter warmth allowance, and the Christmas business charity dinner and Santa Run. We want you to take both to under your caring embrace and do something about it. So we'll see you on what date is that? It's early in the
It's the first Thursday in December. I think it's Thursday, the 4th of December.
It is the 4th.
And I suppose the other man, we see Ken Whittaker was honoured. Did you see that in Dublin?
That.
Ken Whittaker was honoured in Dublin recently. I think it was SDLP hosted the event.
I saw that.
But 650 people. A man who
Mary was there as well.
Yeah, a man who originated in Mary Street in
Rostrevor.
And I must also draw to your attention on a phenomenal YouTube video. The One World Conference was in Dublin a couple of weeks ago, and the RTE correspondent, Tommy O'Gorman, in association with Martin McAleese, did a 5-minute or 4-minute video on how peace had transformed the island.
Wow.
I can tell you, for many young people who don't understand where we were and where we are today, it's a fascinating view.
Yeah. And then this week, Christian Aid brought in people from all parts of Africa and other theatres of conflict in the world. They came into Northern Ireland to see how we have made progress on the road to peace. So now we're teaching people the secrets that we learnt in a very, very, very hard classroom indeed.
And I looked at, in front of you here, I see the Irish News. I think Martina Purdy.
Yes.
It's a very interesting story because Martina Purdy is a lovely lady. I knew her for many years. I'm sure you did as well.
Yes, indeed.
At the cutting edge of originally economic and then political journalism. It's nice to see somebody like that at the top of their profession.
Absolutely.
Decide another route in their vocation and career.
Absolutely.
And I see she took our first step
yesterday. There was a special mass and a special blessing.
To become a nun, and I wish her well, because Martina Purdy, I have to say, I came across her many times over the last 20 years.
A woman of great integrity.
A woman of the highest integrity, but no fool.
No fool.
You couldn't bluff Martina.
No, not at all.
And if Martina had a story to tell or was on a story, she was like a dog looking for a bone.
She was there.
You suddenly got the message, you better tell it, or she'll find out the story anyway.
Right, coming very, very shortly, we talk judo and we talk philosophy, we talk meditation, we talk all kinds of things, and it's Warren Point man, Martin Savage, retired schoolmaster from Warren Point as well.
A young retired schoolmaster who's entering a new career, I think. I mean, I wouldn't use the word retired there. He's a person who's entering his second career.
I think so.
But the good news is, Rowan, you continue to recognise and invest in the people of Warren Point.
Well, that's how it has to be. God bless you. Go well. Take care.
Bye.